The wind is howling, and then a shadow crosses the sun. Something massive is circling above you. Its wingspan stretches wider than you are tall. Its eyes can spot a rabbit from 2 miles away, and it is built from the very first feather to dominate the sky. Now, imagine something else entirely. A creature so small it could perch on the tip of your finger. Its wings beat so fast they're invisible to the naked eye. Its heart hammers at over 1,000 beats per minute. And somehow, it survives hurricanes, high-altitude mountain passes, and journeys across open ocean. These are both birds. These are both real. And today, we are putting them side by side in the most extreme aerial size comparison the bird world has to offer. 5 of the most enormous golden eagle subspecies on the planet, stacked up against 5 of the tiniest hummingbird species ever discovered. We're talking wingspans over 7 feet versus bodies smaller than a AA battery. We're talking birds that can kill a young deer versus birds that weigh less than a paperclip. By the end of this video, you will never look at the sky the same way again. Let's get into it.
We start at the very top. The biggest, the boldest, the most powerful golden eagle subspecies walking, or rather soaring, this Earth. Number 5 in our golden eagle lineup is the European golden eagle, scientifically known as Aquila chrysaetos chrysaetos. This is the nominate subspecies, the one that scientists first described and named all the way back in 1758 by the legendary naturalist Carl Linnaeus himself. This bird rules the skies across Europe, from the Iberian Peninsula in Spain and Portugal, all the way east through Scandinavia, Central Europe, and into Western Russia. It nests in the wild, dramatic landscapes of Scotland, Norway, the Alps, and the Carpathian Mountains, places that feel like they were designed to produce apex predators. The European golden eagle is not a small bird by any measure. Adult females, who are significantly larger than males across all golden eagle subspecies, typically measure between 75 and 88 centimeters in body length. Their wingspan stretches from approximately 175 to 220 centimeters, meaning you could lay 2 of these birds wingtip to wingtip, and they'd be almost as wide as a standard car is long. Their weight ranges from around 3 kilograms in smaller males up to 6.6 kilograms in large females. Their talons exert a gripping force powerful enough to crush bone, and they regularly prey on rabbits, hares, foxes, and even young roe deer. In Scotland alone, there are an estimated 500 breeding pairs, and they are considered one of the most iconic apex predators in all of European wildlife history. This is number 5, and we are just getting started.
Number 4 is the Central Asian golden eagle, the subspecies Aquila chrysaetos daphania. And this is where things begin to get genuinely extraordinary. This subspecies inhabits one of the harshest, most remote terrains on Earth, the mountains and plateaus of Central Asia, ranging across Afghanistan, Pakistan, northern India, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and into western China and Mongolia. It is adapted to elevations that would leave most birds gasping, regularly hunting above 4,000 meters in the Himalayas and the Pamir and Tian Shan mountain ranges. But here's what makes this eagle truly special beyond its size. This is the eagle that has been used by humans in the ancient tradition of eagle hunting, particularly by the Kazakh and Kyrgyz peoples of Central Asia, for over 4,000 years. These birds are trained from a young age, sometimes carried on a falconer's arm for months, and used to hunt foxes, rabbits, and even wolves across the frozen steppes in winter. The bond between an eagle hunter and their bird is so culturally significant that it was inscribed by UNESCO on the representative list of the Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity in 2016. In terms of raw size, the Central Asian golden eagle is considerably larger than its European cousin. Females can reach body lengths of up to 95 centimeters. Wingspans regularly exceed 200 centimeters and have been reliably recorded up to 220 centimeters, with some exceptional individuals reportedly reaching 230 centimeters. Weight in large females can exceed 6.5 to 7 kilograms. This is a bird of almost mythological proportion, and it is only number 4.
Number 3 takes us to the far north. The Kamchatka golden eagle, subspecies Aquila chrysaetos kamchatka, is named for the Kamchatka Peninsula, one of the most volcanically active and biologically rich wilderness areas on the entire planet, jutting down from Russia's far eastern coast between the Sea of Okhotsk and the Pacific Ocean. This subspecies also extends across parts of Siberia and into northeastern Asia, living in a landscape defined by extreme cold, volcanic tundra, dense birch forests, and some of the world's most productive salmon rivers. The Kamchatka golden eagle is consistently cited among the largest golden eagle subspecies, and for good reason. The combination of a harsh climate and abundant large prey, including Arctic hares, foxes, ptarmigan, and crucially, the remains of salmon carcasses left by brown bears, has driven these birds toward impressive size. Females of this subspecies are reported with wingspans reaching 220 to 230 centimeters and body weights that can exceed 6.5 to 7 kilograms in large individuals. Their plumage is notably dark, with the classic rich golden brown nape that gives the species its name, and they have developed particularly powerful bills to handle prey in unforgiving frozen terrain. What makes the Kamchatka eagle so remarkable ecologically is its relationship with the salmon ecosystem. During salmon runs, these eagles have been observed feeding alongside brown bears, stellar sea eagles, and white-tailed eagles, a gathering of predatory giants that has few parallels anywhere else in the natural world. This bird is a giant, and it lives among giants.
Number 2. We are now entering the territory of eagles that genuinely challenge human imagination. The Himalayan golden eagle, subspecies Aquila chrysaetos stephania. Sometimes grouped with the Central Asian subspecies, but recognized separately by several ornithologists based on population and morphological differences, represents the highest altitude golden eagle population in the world. These birds hunt and nest across the Himalayan range, the Tibetan Plateau, and the Karakoram, at elevations regularly exceeding 4,000 and sometimes reaching 5,000 meters above sea level. That is the altitude where commercial aircraft begin their initial descent, and this eagle is hunting there. The physiological adaptations required to live at this altitude are staggering. The air is thin, temperatures drop to brutal extremes, and prey is sparse. And yet, these eagles thrive. Their respiratory systems are adapted to extract oxygen efficiently at altitude. Their feathers provide insulation against temperatures that can plunge below minus 30 degrees Celsius. And their hunting strategy has evolved to exploit the terrain itself, using the dramatic updrafts, cliff faces, and ridgelines of the Himalayas to soar with minimal energy expenditure before stooping on prey at terrifying speed. Size-wise, the largest females from high-altitude Himalayan populations are among the most massive golden eagles ever measured. Wingspans of 230 centimeters, that is 7 feet 6 inches, are recorded in exceptional individuals, and body weights pushing towards 7 kilograms have been documented. These are birds that, in the context of the entire Aquila genus, represent the upper edge of what natural selection has produced. But they are still number 2.
Which brings us to number 1, the largest, most impressive golden eagle subspecies on Earth, the Japanese golden eagle, Aquila chrysaetos japonica. And before you say it, yes, an island subspecies, and yes, the largest. The Japanese golden eagle is found across the Japanese archipelago, primarily on the islands of Honshu, Shikoku, and Kyushu, with the highest densities in the mountainous interior regions of central and northern Honshu, particularly around the Japanese Alps and in the forests and highland regions of Iwate, Nagano, and Yamagata prefectures. Japan's combination of temperate forest, rugged mountain terrain, and the ecological richness of its island ecosystems has produced something remarkable: a golden eagle population that consistently exceeds all others in documented maximum size. The island rule in biology sometimes produces dwarfism in isolated populations, but in predatory birds with abundant prey and limited competition, it can drive size upward. Large female Japanese golden eagles have been documented with wingspans exceeding 230 to 240 centimeters, approaching 8 feet across. Body weights in the largest females can approach 7 to 7.5 kilograms. These are, by multiple metrics, the largest wild golden eagles measured with scientific rigor. Critically, the Japanese golden eagle is also one of the most endangered golden eagle populations in the world. As of recent surveys, fewer than 500 individuals are estimated to remain in the wild across all of Japan. They are threatened by habitat loss, human encroachment into mountain forests, collisions with wind turbines, and a chronically low reproductive rate. Pairs typically raise just one chick every 2 years. Japan's government lists them as a nationally protected species, and conservation programs are actively monitoring known breeding pairs. This is the largest eagle in our countdown, and it is fighting for its survival.
We go from birds that cast shadows like passing clouds to birds so small that a shadow cannot even find them. From wingspans of 240 centimeters to wingspans of 6. From birds that hunt deer to birds that weigh less than a single grape. Welcome to the 5 tiniest hummingbird species ever recorded, ranked from slightly less impossible to absolutely incomprehensible in their smallness. Number 5 in our hummingbird countdown is the wire-crested thorntail, Discosaura popellarii. This extraordinary little bird inhabits the foothills and lower slopes of the eastern Andes in South America, found in Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru, at elevations typically ranging from 300 to 1,500 meters. It favors the humid, mossy, flowering forest edges and clearings where nectar is abundant. The male wire-crested thorntail is one of the most visually outrageous birds on Earth relative to its size. It carries a spectacular, elongated, wire-like crest of dark feathers extending from its forehead, the feature that gives it its dramatic name, along with a deeply forked, elongated black tail that seems preposterously long for a bird this small. Its throat blazes with iridescent green, and its body is a jewel of forest light. All of this, the crest, the tail, the iridescence, packed into a bird with a total body length of approximately 9 to 10 centimeters, including that long tail, and a body weight of around 2.5 to 3 grams. 3 grams. A standard paperclip weighs approximately 1 gram. This bird weighs about 3 of those. It is smaller than most people's thumbs from tip to first knuckle, and it is a fully functional, ferociously territorial, nectar-drinking, high-speed aerial machine. The wire-crested bourntail is number 5, which means there are 4 species smaller than this. Number 4 brings us to the short-tailed woodstar, Myrmea microra, a hummingbird endemic to a remarkably small range, found only in the coastal lowlands and arid scrub of western Peru and extreme southwestern Ecuador. This tiny bird lives in dry forests, agricultural areas with flowering trees, and scrubby vegetation in a narrow strip of Pacific coast, a habitat that is under significant pressure from agricultural expansion and urban development. The short-tailed woodstar is tiny in a way that catches you off guard. The very short, barely notched tail that gives it its name makes it look almost stubby compared to other hummingbirds. There is none of the elegant elongation you often see in the family. It is compact, round, and dense, with the male showing a glittery violet rose throat patch that seems almost comically oversized relative to the bird's body. Total body length is approximately 6.5 to 7 centimeters, and body weight comes in at roughly 2 to 2.5 grams. This is a species that lives at the intersection of 2 crises, a tiny geographic range and a rapidly degrading habitat. It is considered near threatened by the IUCN, with population trends pointing downward as the dry coastal scrub it depends on continues to disappear. A bird this small, this specialized, this geographically constrained has almost no buffer against environmental change. And yet, here it is, a 2-gram miracle, still finding flowers in the dust.
Number 3, the Esmeraldus woodstar, Catocircus burlepshi. If you haven't heard of this hummingbird, you are not alone. It is one of the least known, least studied, and most range-restricted hummingbird species in the entire world. It is found only in the Esmeraldas province and adjacent areas of northwestern Ecuador, a range so small you could drive across it in an afternoon. It inhabits humid lowland forests and forest edges at low elevations, in a region that has experienced dramatic deforestation over the past century. The Esmeralda's woodstar is classified as endangered by the IUCN. It was so poorly known for much of the 20th century that there were periods when scientists genuinely weren't sure whether it still existed at all. Modern surveys have confirmed small, fragmented populations, but the total number of individuals remaining is disturbingly low. Estimates hover in the hundreds, not thousands. It is a bird teetering on the edge. In terms of size, the Esmeralda's woodstar measures approximately 6 to 7 centimeters in body length, with a weight of roughly 2 to 2.3 grams. Like others in the woodstar group, the male displays a striking gorget, a throat patch of shimmering pinkish purple that flashes in sunlight with a vividness entirely disproportionate to the bird's size. Its wings beat at an estimated 50 to 80 times per second, producing the characteristic humming that gives the entire family its name. 2 grams of feathers, vibrating against the air fast enough to generate lift, fast enough to hover with millimeter precision over a single flower, fast enough to vanish in an instant if danger comes. This is number 3.
Number 2, the bee hummingbird's closest rival, and one of the most remarkable birds in the Americas. The Costa's hummingbird? No. The little woodstar? Getting warmer. We're talking about the gorgeted woodstar, Chaetocercus heliodor, a species that pushes the boundary of what a warm-blooded flying vertebrate can be. The gorgeted woodstar is found in the Andes of Venezuela, Colombia, and Ecuador, inhabiting humid montane forest edges, gardens, and clearings at elevations ranging from roughly 1,200 to 2,400 meters. It is slightly better known than the Esmeralda's woodstar, but still represents one of the least studied birds in its range. The male is adorned with a spectacular, glittering violet-purple throat patch, the gorget that names it, that seems to concentrate an impossible intensity of color into a circle of feathers barely the size of your thumbnail. Total body length in the gorgeted woodstar is approximately 6 to 7 centimeters, and weight comes in at an estimated 2 to 2.3 grams, functionally indistinguishable from the Esmeralda's woodstar in terms of mass, but placed at number 2 here based on the aggregate of size measurements across the species. Its metabolic demands are extraordinary. A hummingbird of this size must consume nectar equivalent to more than its own body weight every single day to fuel its hyper-fast metabolism. If a hummingbird goes more than a few hours without feeding, it enters a state of torpor, a controlled, temporary shutdown of its metabolism, or it dies. There is no middle ground at this scale. 2 grams cannot afford it.
And we have arrived. Number 1. The smallest, the most extreme, the bird that wins, if winning means being the most miraculous thing in the sky, the bee hummingbird, Melissuga helenae. Found only on the island of Cuba and on the Isla de la Juventud, a geographic range of around 110,000 square kilometers, this is the smallest living bird species on the entire planet, and it has held that title since science first formally described it. It was formally documented by the Spanish naturalist Felipe Poi in 1850, and in the 170-plus years since, nothing smaller with wings and warm blood has been found anywhere on Earth. The numbers are almost absurd. The bee hummingbird has a total body length of approximately 5 to 6 centimeters. Some sources put the smallest females at just 5.7 centimeters from bill tip to tail. Its weight? Between 1.6 and 2 grams. The lightest documented individuals weigh 1.6 grams. A standard M&M candy weighs approximately 0.9 grams. The bee hummingbird is not much heavier than 2 M&Ms. A penny weighs 2.5 grams. This bird weighs less than a penny. Its wingspan is approximately 6 centimeters, about 2.4 inches. Remember the Japanese golden eagle's wingspan of up to 240 centimeters? The bee hummingbird's wingspan fits inside the golden eagle's wingspan 40 times over. 40! Its heart beats at approximately 1,200 times per minute during flight, the fastest heart rate of any bird on Earth. Its wings beat at around 80 times per second during normal flight, and during courtship displays in the male, that accelerates to an estimated 200 wing beats per second. 200 per second! For reference, a housefly beats its wings around 200 times per second. This bird matches a fly. The male bee hummingbird in breeding plumage is one of the most beautiful things nature has ever constructed. His head and throat blaze with iridescent fiery red and pink, a gorget so vivid it looks lit from within. His upper parts shimmer in blue-green. And all of this color, all of this metabolic fury, all of this aerodynamic precision packaged into something you could mistake for a large insect if you glance too quickly. The bee hummingbird builds a nest approximately the size of a quarter, roughly 2.5 centimeters across. Its eggs, of which it lays just 2, are the size of coffee beans. It feeds primarily on nectar from native Cuban flowers, particularly from plants in the genus Vermifica, and in doing so, it is a critically important pollinator for Cuba's endemic plant species. Destroy the habitat, and you don't just lose the bird, you unravel the ecosystem it sustains. Currently, the bee hummingbird is listed as near threatened, with populations declining due to deforestation, agricultural conversion, and the degradation of Cuba's native lowland forests. There is no backup population. There is no other island. Cuba is it.